لقد أوحي إلى رسول الله أن يجهر بدعوته وليسمع العالم.
لا إله إلا الله ولا نعبد إلا إياه. الله أكبر الله أكبر محمد رسول الله.
My name is Lala Ali and I declare myself innocent from the corruption and the lies of the priests of Amun, the scholars in Iraq. Basically, all those people who are now siding with them and those who are turning a blind eye to their corruption need to go back and remember who they are and where they came from. All of those who were with us in the beginning and those people who worked with me on Pal Talk and on other projects know the certain things that happened throughout. And how can we forget those? Remember in the beginning when we came from Hashim Studios into the Dawah, our bridge to Ahmed Hassan was Pal Talk. We were always on Pal Talk, we were giving Dawah Pal Talk, and we were admins in the Pal Talk rooms. We always said how there was a weird atmosphere when we were there. We always felt left out, we always felt like the odd ones out in the room, because we would ask certain questions and they would be met with some sort of arrogance and like we didn't know what we were talking about. We didn't have the journey that they had. We went through this journey through coming from TADS and through other things online where we know the corruption and we know the Illuminati and we know all of these Dajjalic systems that have been put in place who are awaiting the rise of the Mahdi al-Islam. So basically we came from there. And we would ask things about reincarnation, we would ask things about Al-Hafd al-Sharif. But they wouldn't have an answer for us. And we always felt like they looked down on us. And we would talk about this. So many of us, all of those. You know who you are. We would talk about this in private. So what's changed? Do you remember in the beginning when we were in the Pal Talk room and a sister kept coming into the room continuously and she would always talk about the corruption of Sadiq al-Husseini and the other Iraqis, and she would say to us, you don't know what they're like, you don't know. And we said to her, what's your problem, what's wrong? And she said she had gotten married to one of the Arabs, to one of the Ansar Allah, and this marriage was done through Sadiq al-Husseini. He had organized it or he knew about it. And she went out and she lived with this brother, this Iraqi person. She went out and she lived with him, this so-called Ansar Allah, and he was abusive to her, and it was a horrible situation. She described all sorts of abuse, and basically she went and she told Sadiq al-Husseini, and Sadiq did nothing. In fact, he gave her money and tried to defuse the situation through money. He didn't help her or anything, and she would continuously talk about this. She would always say, he's done this to me, you don't know what he's like, he's evil. Myself, Figar, Emily, Muhammad Akhtar, we got her in the Pal Talk room and we said to her, tell us the details of this, what happened? And she told us specific details of beatings and all kinds of abuse and verbal abuse and all kinds of things. This is a very well-known sister who's got many accounts all over Facebook, all over YouTube, all over Pal Talk, and she's also got videos where she's gone out and she's given the dawah in public in America, holding banners up and calling people to come towards Ahmed al-Hassan. So she's a very well-known sister. And basically Sadiq did nothing. So when at first we thought maybe it's just slander, maybe it's all lies. But we got Sadiq al-Husseini in a room and we said to him, Sadiq, what's going on? And this sister keeps saying these things about you. Is it true? We don't know what to do about her. She's like, she comes in and we said she disrupts the dawah. She comes in and interferes and it's weird, what do we do? And Sadiq didn't deny it. Sadiq just said, well, I've been trying to sort the situation out and I've been spent so much money, so many hours talking to the sister, but it gets me nowhere. So Sadiq didn't deny that those things happened. In fact, he said he gave her money, he tried to defuse the situation through that. And to me, there's no smoke without fire. Something strange must have happened there. Sadiq didn't deny it for sure. But even after that, anytime Sadiq would come into the Pal Talk room and all of us would get really excited because we'd say, here's someone who's met Ahmed al-Hassan. Maybe he can tell us about him, and maybe he can give us personal details about how met him and what he was like in that spiritual encounter, Sadiq would always avoid it. This was recorded as well, and I also put this recording online. Sadiq blatantly would avoid it and change the topic. Because I guess when you're writing it down, it's different, but when you're forced to say something on the mic or in public, it's different because you can get caught out lying. So it was a very strange situation. But time went on, and I sent a question in to the so-called links to Ahmad al-Hassan. My question was about chemicals in fluoride and chemicals in food, and what do we do about them? I mean, there's so much chemicals and nonsense in food that it messes up people's health. What's his advice for us? The answer was so bizarre. Answer was beyond bizarre. The answer was basically, fluoride has to be put in water. It doesn't harm you, it just harms kids, harms children if it's done excessively, if it's used excessively or whatever, water is not purified. But also in food, you have to put pesticides and things in food because for crops to grow. It was ridiculous. The answer is online. The answer was absolutely ridiculous, and I know better than that. How can you think that you can fool us? We know better than that. We are not the simple ones. We came from all this stuff being online, the Illuminati, all these things about, you know, killing people off through this, through medicines, through pesticides. We know this stuff. But it was like someone was trying to pull the wool over our eyes. These questions, these responses that were coming back, I don't know how anyone can take them seriously. Even recently, there was a response, a few months ago actually, from the so-called Facebook page and the so-called links to Ahmad al-Hassan. A sister message talking about how she was divorced by someone who was a Sistani follower, and he divorced her because of her beliefs in Ahmad al-Hassan. And the sister was in extreme pain because of this, extreme emotional distress. And she messaged Ahmad al-Hassan seeking support and seeking love and seeking guidance. And the response was so harsh that it made me sit there and question everything. The response was, what's wrong with you? Are you not a follower of Sayyidah Fatima Zahra al-Islam? Are you not a follower of Sayyidah Zainab al-Islam? What is wrong with you? Be grateful. And ridiculous things like this. You think that the Imam of the time is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You think the Imam will speak to a woman like that? Imam Ali al-Islam has talked openly about how the worst man is a man who oppresses a woman, and about the woman shedding a tear because of a man who oppressed her, husband who oppressed her is the worst. So how can Ahmad al-Hassan, who is said to be the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, talk that way to a sister who is grieving? How can it be? So all of these things kept happening. Even recently, Anis Kotia was organizing a book fair in London, and some of the things that were being said about sisters and how sisters were being talking about really disturbed me. He had talked to me about inviting one sister over. She's in France right now, and inviting her over, and basically he had consulted with the Iraqi brothers and sisters because it was going to be Tawfiq al-Maghribi coming over and doing the book fair with Anis Kotia in London. And he said, he called me up one night and he said, you know, I got this really weird response, this really harsh response. I was speaking to the Iraqis and I asked them about this particular sister, about bringing her over. But they said to me, you don't want to deal with her. She's only after her husband. She only wants a man. So Anis told me this, and we were both equally disgusted on the phone. We were both really, really disgusted by the response. And I said to Anis, I said, do you see the sexist rhetoric among the Iraqi Ansar Allah, so-called Ansar Allah?